Hello, this is Vance, and this is Tuesday, October the 6th, 2015, and these are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. Been having a little bit of computer issues, particularly with rendering videos. It's taking an awfully long time, and I had problems with that last week. I had some problems recording some things today, too. So I'm going to give this a shot, see how this works. But I don't know if it's whether it's a Windows 10 problem with my Camtasia recorder or not, but it seems like it's running very, very slowly. And if I try to record, it's skipping and a bunch of other stuff. So I got to kind of investigate that a little further. I wasn't on Friday. I let you know about that I wasn't going to make any more videos on Fridays. But I wasn't on yesterday. And the reason is that I had an opportunity to go out to a outdoor wilderness camp. Well, it's a hunting, fishing camp outside of quite a ways from where I live in Canada here. And it was a really nice time. I went out there for 4 days, 3 nights, and got back late last night, mostly grouse hunting and fishing. And it was really, a really nice time. Me and a few friends of mine. It was kind of a last-minute thing, so didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but it was pretty good. Enjoyed it very much, so I'm back in the saddle again this morning, and so I'll talk a little bit about that. With the days it was just really an update today. I noticed that yesterday the pricing was picked up from where I left off on Friday, as far as oil is concerned. Still trading the November 15th contract on the CL. But as you can see, it's a trend update today. From bottom left-hand corner to top right-hand corner, most of today had a bit of a pullback and then kind of a recovery from there. And by and large, it was pretty easy once you get on this. And I'll show you how I was looking at. There's some mostly your entry points are going to be at key entry point areas, and those areas are going to be places like it's going to be whereas let me just get this bigger. Right at the EMA and right at the trend lines, the trend channels. And if you look at it from that perspective, let me just kind of pull this in here. This is a slow. See, this is the slowing part about it. It's kind of jumping my screen. That's what I was talking about. Anyway, right here we have. This is in the overnight. Price had kind of climbed down to. It never got to the overnight low was 45.73, and it never got back down to that. So you can see that it really touched the bottom. Your first couple swings from the overnight, it looks like it's down. This is a spring back. This is early in the morning, 4 in the morning or something like that. So I mean 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. First we'll trade. This is 738. I thought this was pretty decent. I mean, we had kind of a clip down here. I marked this one in blue. It's a second entry long. First entry pulls back, and it went pretty deep. Second entry long. 738, pretty early in the morning. Not really quite room to get out, but I mean, it's a pretty strong bar. You figure we're coming out of there at least, and I was looking for a measured move. And so the measured move is from here. You look for a measured move. Not I was looking for a measured move. One looks for a measured move. And in this case, the measured move is up to this area right here. And if you look at where it pulls over, you see prices up to this area right here. That looks like the measured move. Pullback here. First pullback fails. Second pullback. Another second entry long here. Now, you have this channel. I didn't really have this channel in here. From this period of time. This is just after 8:30 right here. You take another measured move. So you have a first pullback, fails, second pullback, second entry long. It's a little ways away from the channel, but it's a nice trade. You figure we're going to go at least maybe another measured move, and you can see that it really got to that level. So if you brought this arrow from here and you looked up to here, it's certainly a measured move. Breaks the channel here, posts a new high, and then we have this pullback. Now, until it gets to the EMA, and you can see this in the EMA, price is moving down, but it's not moving. You can see this pullback. You get the green bars in here, so it's reluctantly going down. But when it hits to this bottom here, there's a pretty strong bar. And I marked this one in green. It is a second entry long from this one right here. First entry, second entry. It's off the EMA. I thought it was pretty decent trade. And I've said this before. You get in a trade, whether it's a limit order or a buy stop or a limit order, whether it's whether you're going long or you're going short, And the first thing that you have to look for is that within the first 1 or 2 bars, if you're not really moving, getting your target, if it's starting to stack up, like if you're getting the next bars are kind of side by side, you're looking to get out or you're looking to close out the trade or try to tighten up your stop at that point in time. Because it really should go to target within the first 1 or 2 bars. And if it moves sideways too much, then that's a signal put to get out. And you don't know that until after you get into the trade. That's the challenge. But you can see this one worked out off the EMA. Now, once this worked out here, you're thinking that, well, it comes back to the EMA, look for entries along the EMA, and look for the entry bar. I'll get into that a little bit further. As far as the shorts are concerned, wasn't looking at that. I mean, first of all, because we had this lift up here, we have a pullback. Now, this is a second entry short right here, but it's at the high of the day at the time. And so to take a short right at this point, even though it's a second, it's not a great bar, you can see. Now, this is a better bar. It's really, this is a better bar to go short on, but whether or not it's going to come out, you don't have a lot of room to get to this bottom right here. And as you can see, this is a trade that would have worked, just barely would have worked. And if you look at it from this perspective, it works out right here. See, this is the jumpiness when I'm talking about this recording. I'll have to check into that. But if I wasn't recording, it wouldn't be jumping around like this. So it's taking up some memory someplace. I got some problem. Anyway, if you look at this is the 15 ticks is not quite to get to the bottom. If you look at here, second entry long, again, from this one, pretty strong bar off the EMA. I marked this one in green, obviously. Of course, I just talked about that. Price makes a new high, pulls back. First entry. This is second entry long, but it's within this channel. We have this, and then it pulls up and pulls back down here. Now, remember I've talked about these long bars here, these longish tails. Looks like support across here. Price is dipped down below the EMA, but it can't stay down here. And I think this is a nice place to go long right here. It closes on its high. And to drop a trade in on here, it's ways to get out here. And this was a really good trade. This one, it just kept going and going up to this area. So this was good for like 50 ticks, almost 60 ticks on this thing. And it was a good trade. Again, here's a second entry long right here. And unfortunately, if you're aggressive, you might take a trade like that. The problem is that it's away from the EMA. We're getting close to the highs, not enough room to get out. And, you take it as this one right here. This Doji is a second entry short. But again, we're above the EMA. Didn't like it from that standpoint. And you can see it was really a spike in channel because price started to range in here. There's resistance here because here's a second entry short here. And like I was telling you, I've just mentioned earlier, I mean, I think you can see the consensus or the context is typically up. So looking for longs more than shorts still at this point in time. Here's a nice bar, another completion. This is a second entry long right from here. First entry, second entry. Below the EMA, it's a strong bar to go long on. Now, it's actually maybe even a third entry long because here, price makes a new high. First entry, second entry, third entry. Okay, but you can see that it's more like a range. And if you take this bar right down here, see right across these bottoms, it looks like it may be support. So this was if you got in on this trade, you really hung on to it. Now, when this bar, you might have closed out. Depending where you got in, you might have gotten your 15 ticks off. But if you held on to it, if you're confident, especially when you had this bar here, this was it finally broke out and went higher. So it was really like a continuation pattern for this. This is a better trade. I mean, I marked this one in blue because you can see first entry, it pulls back on this long tail. So the price attempted to go down the first time, failed, tried to go down the second time, and then sprung right out of here. And that's a nice bar. This would look like the precursor right at the EMA, right at this channel from down here. And it looked like it was a precursor to maybe a decent move. And in fact, that's what turned out to be. So you see that this one kind of kept going as well. Another bar, another second entry long here, but the top of the EMA, top of the channel, if I mark this one in green, it pulls back. This is a nicer one, pulls back to this area, touches, and it moves higher from here. But then when we got to the end of the, let me see, right at the top, this is the high of the day. We reached to just over 48. I thought it was going to break $49. So we have to remember, we started at 45, 50, I guess it was, somewhere in that neighborhood. Moved up to 48, so we're talking about like a $3 move, $3 and change. Price pulls back here. Now, here's some shorts here. I like this one as secondary because it just breaks this channel. We maybe retest this area, and it does. but then it falls off here. But look at this gap. I mean, we had some pretty good movement in this area. So it breaks the channel, second entry long from down here. Decent trade to take that one, but this is just at noon. Now, here we have, this is, if you consider this the first break, here's another low, and this is a second entry long right here. Now, why I marked this one in lavender, now we're kind of stopping up here. I've got this movement, this channel in through down here. Is there enough room to get up? It might be, it's more of a daring trade, and that's why I go back and forth on this, because you can see this overlap going into this, and now almost bare and would have worked, but then you see the prices stopped up. Now we have a failure here, pulls back, and this is not the second. This is the second entry long, or second entry short, I mean, but. What I was looking at this one is that here you had really two pullbacks, or two attempts to go higher. Here's the first attempt to go higher, fails. Second attempt to go higher, and then immediate failure. So this is really a second entry, failed second entry long that turned into a second entry short. That would be your first signal. The problem is that it starts stacking up. So when prices start stacking up like this, you're looking at closing this out because you're holding through all this stuff. Now, but I'm still thinking like whether you're on the fence is whether it's short or long. As you can see, when price gets to this area, here's another second entry short right here. And so now you're seeing it closes below the EMA. It's a pretty strong bar to go short on. And then it blows past what I was looking at, this kind of support area, moves down, pulls back again, another area to go short on. You can see that you would have made your 15 ticks. But these three trades in the short, I wasn't really thinking that along those lines. You could have taken those trades, but I really wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking more along the line for long trades. This is after 3:30. Another, it's kind of a repeat of this area right here. You can see prices break the channel and then go up. It's kind of this is a repeat pattern. Moves up across. Then we have another pullback, first entry, failed, second entry, and a fairly nice bar to go long on in this one. Now, again, the reason is got room to get out to where these double tops are. Now, whether this channel is going to hold, you don't know. You can see it really hesitated here and then pulled out here. This is a breakout pullback, which I didn't mark, but this is getting really late, and this is after 4. This is after 4. This is 2 o'clock. Take these trades now. It's too late in the day. But now you can see that